Beneath the veil, Commander Dahlia Frost had never seen anything like it. The vast structure, if you could call it that, hung suspended in the void before the U.S. horizon, defying all known laws of physics. It wasn't solid, not exactly. Instead, it seemed to exist in a state of perpetual flux, geometric patterns shifting and reforming across its crystalline surface. Sensors report, nothing conclusive, Commander, Lieutenant Riker said, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface. It's simultaneously emitting radiation across all spectrums and absorbing it. I've never seen readings like these. Dahlia maintained her composure, though her heart raced. After 6 months in deep space, the Horizon had finally found what it was looking for, confirmation that humanity was not alone. But this wasn't what anyone had expected. Dr. Ivanov, she called to the ship's chief scientist. Your assessment? Natalia Ivanov floated closer to the main view screen, her weathered face illuminated by the eerie glow of the alien structure. After 40 years studying theoretical xenobiology, the Russian scientist was finally seeing her life's work validated. It's beautiful, she whispered. Commander, I believe it's attempting communication. Before Dahlia could respond, the ship's communication system activated without prompting. A voice, or rather, multiple voices layered over each other in perfect harmony, filled the bridge. Humans of Earth vessel, you have ventured far from your cradle. This is unwise. Dahlia gestured for Lieutenant Jackson to open a channel. This is Commander Dahlia Frost of the United Earth Ship Horizon. We come in peace, seeking knowledge and friendship. A pause followed, during which the crystalline structure pulsed with increased intensity. We are the collective. We have watched your kind from afar. Your advancement accelerates beyond expected parameters. This concerns us. Professor Julian Reeves, the expedition's xenobiologist, moved beside Dahlia. Ask them why they're concerned, he whispered. This could be crucial. Dahlia nodded. May I ask why our advancement concerns you? The structure's patterns shifted, forming what almost resembled a face before dissolving back into geometric chaos. Earth is quarantined for reason. Not because of humans. Because of what shares Earth with you. The Silent Watchers permit your evolution, but other species are not so protected. A murmur rippled through the bridge crew. Dahlia felt a chill travel down her spine despite the ship's regulated temperature. I don't understand, she said. What are these Silent Watchers? Ancient. Vast. Beyond comprehension. They existed before stars burned. They chose your world long ago. We do not approach Earth. No spacefaring species does. Those who tried never returned. The main screen flickered, displaying images that couldn't possibly have come from the Horizon's databases, strange vessels of designs Dahlia had never seen, approaching Earth across different eras, then vanishing without trace. This is absurd, Lieutenant Commander Patel whispered from the tactical station. They're trying to scare us. Julian shook his head. Maybe not. Commander, Earth's evolutionary history has always contained anomalies, mass extinctions followed by explosive diversification, the unusually rapid development of human intelligence. What if something was guiding these processes? Dr. Ivanov's eyes widened. The Fermi paradox, why we haven't encountered other civilizations despite the mathematical probability of their existence. If Earth is avoided, the collective continued. You leave your cradle now. The Watchers permit this. This has not happened before. We warn you out of necessity. Return to Earth. The galaxy is not ready for what follows in your wake. Dahlia straightened her uniform, feeling the weight of command. We appreciate your warning, but we need more information. What exactly are these Watchers? What do they want? Want. They do not want as you understand wanting. They simply are. They observe. They guide. They protect or destroy according to criteria we cannot comprehend. Earth is their domain, perhaps their experiment. You are the first species they have allowed to venture outward while still under their protection. The structure began to retreat, creating distance between itself and the Horizon. Wait, Dahlia called. How do you know all this? We have observed for millennia. We have lost explorers to your system. We have seen the Watchers' influence. They dwell in your deep oceans, your highest atmosphere, your magnetic field itself. They are woven into Earth's fabric. And now, they watch you here. The communication abruptly terminated. The crystalline structure accelerated away at impossible speed, leaving the Horizon alone in the void once more. Should we pursue, Commander? Lieutenant Riker asked. Dahlia shook her head. No. Plot a course back to Earth. We need to report this. 3 weeks later, the horizon was halfway back to the Sol system when the disturbances began. It started with minor system malfunctions, fluctuations in power distribution, navigation errors, unexplained readings from the sensors. Chief Engineer Ortega insisted nothing was mechanically wrong with the ship. "It's like something's observing us," he explained during the emergency staff meeting. Testing our responses. Dahlia studied the reports before her. "Could it be some kind of radiation affecting our systems?" "No, Commander," Dr. Ivanov said. "These aren't random failures. There's a pattern and intelligence behind it. I believe something followed us from our encounter with the collective. Or maybe it was with us all along," Julian added quietly. Everyone turned to him. He activated a holographic display showing centuries of deep space mission logs. "I've been researching since our encounter. Every Earth vessel that's ventured beyond our solar system has experienced similar anomalies. We just attributed them to equipment failure or human error." Lieutenant Commander Patel leaned forward. "You're suggesting these Watchers have been following human space exploration all along." "Not following," Julian corrected. "Accompanying. The collective said they're woven into Earth's fabric. What if that includes us? What if they're somehow connected to humanity itself?" Dr. Ramirez, the ship's historian, cleared her throat. "There's more. I've been reviewing historical accounts from various cultures, ancient texts, folklore, religious documents. References to watchful presences appear consistently across civilizations. Guardians in the deep sea. Observers in the sky. Entities that intervene at crucial moments in human development." Dahlia felt overwhelmed. If true, this changed everything about humanity's understanding of its place in the cosmos. "Commander," Lieutenant Riker's voice came urgently over the comm, "you need to see this." On the bridge, the main view screen showed the starfield ahead, except several stars were moving. Not as celestial bodies should move, but deliberately, forming patterns similar to the crystalline structure they'd encountered. "It started 5 minutes ago," Riker explained. "At first, I thought it was a sensor malfunction, but multiple systems confirm it." "They're watching us," Julian whispered. Suddenly, the ship's artificial gravity fluctuated. For a moment, everyone floated free of their stations before being slammed back down. The lights flickered and emergency systems activated. "Status report," Dahlia demanded once she regained her footing. "All systems operational," Patel responded, sounding confused. But she hesitated. "Commander, according to our chronometers, we just experienced a time dilation event. 2 hours passed in those few seconds." Before Dahlia could process this, the communication officer turned with a pale face. "Commander, all signals from Earth just ceased. Not jammed or blocked. It's as if Earth simply isn't there anymore." The starfield on the view screen continued its impossible dance, and Dahlia realized with perfect clarity, they weren't returning to the Earth they had left. The Silent Watchers had revealed themselves at last, and humanity's understanding of reality would never be the same. In the deepest part of the Mariana Trench, something ancient stirred from its vigilance, aware that the time for concealment was ending. Humanity had passed the threshold. The experiment was entering its final phase. Guardians of the Cradle. Tactical analysis, now. Commander Dahlia Frost ordered, gripping her command chair as the horizon shuddered around her. Lieutenant Commander Patel's fingers flew across her console. "It's difficult to describe, Commander. There's a massive energy field surrounding our approach vector to Earth. Not solid, not radiation as we understand it. More like space itself is being manipulated." The main view screen showed what appeared to be a shimmering curtain stretching across the void, distorting the stars behind it. Within this curtain, massive shadows moved with deliberate purpose. "Can we navigate around it?" Dahlia asked. "Negative," Lieutenant Riker responded from the helm. "It's expanding faster than we can calculate. Whatever it is, it wants us to encounter it." Dr. Ivanov stood transfixed, her scientific skepticism warring with the wonder in her eyes. "The Watchers," she whispered. "They're no longer hiding." The ship's communication system crackled with static before a strange, multi-layered voice emerged, not the harmonious tones of the collective, but something deeper, ancient, as though the vacuum of space itself had found voice. "Children of Earth, you have carried us far." The bridge crew exchanged glances of confusion and fear. Dahlia took a steadying breath before responding. "This is Commander Frost of the U.S. Horizon. Identify yourself. We have been known by many names across your history. Guardian, Protector, Destroyer, Catalyst. You may call us the Watchers. We have been with Earth since before your kind drew breath. Julian approached the view screen, his scientific curiosity overcoming his caution. You've been guiding our evolution? Not guiding. Observing. Occasionally. Adjusting. Earth is special among worlds. A crucible of complexity. We chose it long ago. Lieutenant Jackson at Communications suddenly straightened. Commander, I'm receiving transmissions from Earth Defense Command. They're tracking multiple unknown entities entering the solar system. They're mobilizing the fleet. Dahlia felt her chest tighten. They think we're under attack. Open a channel to Admiral Vicente immediately. They cannot hear you. The voice stated simply. Not until we have spoken. Time moves differently here. The view screen shifted, showing Earth from orbit, but not as they had left it. Massive, diaphanous forms surrounded the planet, extending from the deepest oceans into the upper atmosphere, their structures reminiscent of the patterns they had seen with the collective, but vastly more complex. You've been there all along, Dr. Ivanov said, understanding dawning on her face. Invisible to us. Yes. We exist partially outside your perception. Your advancement has finally reached the threshold where interaction becomes necessary. The door to the bridge hissed open as Dr. Naomi Okada, the Horizon's xenolinguist, rushed in. Her usually composed demeanor was replaced by barely contained excitement. Commander, I've decoded some of the patterns in their communication, she announced. And I've found matches, thousands of them, throughout human history. She projected a holographic display showing ancient cave paintings, hieroglyphics, medieval illustrations, and modern data patterns side by side with the shifting forms visible outside the ship. These patterns appear in every civilization, every era of human development, she explained. Ancient myths about gods from the sea or sky, religious visions, unexplained phenomena, they were all attempts to document encounters with these beings. Julian studied the display. So they've been communicating with us all along, but we weren't advanced enough to understand? Correct, the voice confirmed. Your species evolved alongside us. Unlike others we have observed, humans developed surrounded by our presence. It shaped you in ways you cannot yet comprehend. A new image appeared on the screen, a comparative timeline of evolutionary development across hundreds of worlds. Earth's pattern was unique, showing rapid acceleration after each mass extinction event. Other species evolved through logical progression, the voice continued. Yours embraced chaos, adaptation, innovation. Where others sought perfect order, humans found strength in diversity and contradiction. Commander Patel looked skeptical. If you're so advanced and benevolent, why hide from us? Why the secrecy? Protection. The galaxy contains many intelligent species. Most follow predictable paths of development. They fear what they cannot classify. Humanity's potential is disruptive. The view screen shifted again to show the Earth fleet forming a defensive perimeter. Ships moved into position, weapon systems activating as they detected the anomalous energy patterns surrounding both Earth and the horizon. They're going to attack, Dahlia realized with horror. They can't understand what they're facing. Yes, this reaction is expected. Fear precedes understanding. Dr. Ramirez stepped forward. You've quarantined Earth to protect us from other species, and to protect them from us. From what travels with you, the voice corrected. Us. We have shepherded many species across countless worlds. Only humans have developed the capacity to become our partners rather than our subjects. The implication stunned everyone into silence. Humanity had never been alone in its development. It had evolved under the watchful eyes of beings so advanced they were practically indistinguishable from gods. Partners in what? Dahlia finally asked. Cosmic gardening, came the reply, with what almost sounded like amusement. Life is precious. Intelligence rarer still. We seed it, nurture it, preserve it across the galaxies. Humanity has qualities we lack, creativity born of limitation, innovation sparked by mortality. The energy field surrounding the horizon began to pulse with new patterns, creating a visualization that showed galaxies blooming with life, civilizations rising and falling across eons. The quarantine ends now. Your species stands at a junction. Return to Earth's cradle, remaining under our protection but separate from galactic society. Or join us as partners, helping to cultivate intelligence throughout the cosmos. The choice belongs to humanity. Dahlia exchanged looks with her senior staff. We can't make that decision for our entire species. No, but you can deliver the message and the choice. We will await Earth's decision. The communication officer's console suddenly lit up. Commander, I've re-established contact with Earth Defense Command. Admiral Vicente is demanding to know what's happening. Dahlia took a deep breath. Put him on screen. Admiral Vicente's weathered face appeared, his expression a mixture of confusion and alarm. Commander Frost, what in God's name is happening out there? Our sensors are detecting massive anomalies throughout the solar system. Admiral, Dahlia began, struggling to find words adequate for the situation. We've made contact with entities that have been present on Earth since before human civilization. They call themselves the Watchers. They've been protecting us, guiding our evolution. Vicente's face hardened. Protecting us? They appear without warning, surround our planet, and we're supposed to believe they're friendly. It's more complicated than that, sir. They've always been here. We just couldn't perceive them until now. Dahlia gestured to Dr. Okada. Doctor, please share your findings with the Admiral. Dr. Okada stepped forward and transmitted her data on the historical connections between human civilization and the Watchers' communication patterns. Admiral, she explained, every major leap in human development coincides with these patterns appearing in our art, our science, our collective unconscious. They've been silently guiding us toward this moment when we could finally understand them as equals. The child species reaches maturity, the Watcher's voice added, now audible to Earth as well. It is time for humanity to join the greater community, not as subjects, but as partners. The view screen split to show reactions from around Earth, crowds gathering in major cities, watching the sky as the previously invisible Watchers made themselves partially perceptible to human senses. What looked like aurora borealis appeared worldwide, forming complex, beautiful patterns that matched those documented throughout human history. Admiral Vicente's expression softened slightly. Commander Frost, you believe these beings aren't hostile? I believe they could have destroyed us at any point in our history if that was their intention, Dahlia replied. Instead, they've been silently watching over us, protecting Earth from outside interference while we developed. Now they're offering us a choice: continue as we have been, or join them in something greater. Professor Julian Reeves spoke up. Admiral, think about it. Every unexplained leap in human achievement, every miracle throughout history. We've never been alone. They've been there, nudging us forward when needed, perhaps preventing our destruction when we veered too close to it. Dr. Ivanov added, our unique evolutionary path makes sense now. We developed differently from any species the collective has encountered because we evolved alongside these entities. They shaped us, and perhaps we shaped them too. The bridge fell silent as Admiral Vicente consulted with other Earth officials off-screen. Finally, he turned back to the view screen. Commander, we're forming a diplomatic delegation. Representatives from every nation will convene to address this. First contact. Your crew's expertise will be essential. Return to Earth immediately. Yes, sir, Dahlia responded, feeling the weight of history pressing upon her. As the transmission ended, she turned to the view screen where the shimmering forms of the Watchers continued their eternal dance through the void. We're coming home, she said simply. Home, the ancient voice echoed. Yes. We have waited long for this conversation to begin. 3 months later, Commander Dahlia Frost stood on the observation deck of the newly constructed Nexus station in Earth orbit. Below her, the blue-green planet continued its rotation, seemingly unchanged. But everything had changed. Dr. Naomi Okada joined her at the viewport. The translation protocols are getting better. We're beginning to understand concepts that didn't even have words in human languages before. Dahlia nodded. And their understanding of us. Growing. They're fascinated by our art, our music, our stories. Concepts like fiction were apparently unknown to them before humans. Outside the station, one of the Watchers' manifestations hovered, a complex geometric structure constantly shifting and reforming, beautiful in its alien perfection. Humanity's first diplomatic mission leaves next week, Dahlia said quietly. We'll be accompanying a Watcher delegation to meet with the collective and other spacefaring species. Are you nervous? Naomi asked. Dahlia smiled, terrified, but also exhilarated. We spent centuries looking up at the stars, wondering if we were alone. Turns out, we never were. In the depths of Earth's oceans, in the upper reaches of its atmosphere, and now in the void between worlds, the silent Watchers continued their ancient vigil. But they were silent no longer. A conversation billions of years in the making had finally begun, and the universe would never be the same. In the great cosmic garden, Earth had finally outgrown its protective enclosure. What would bloom from this new partnership remained to be seen, but the gardeners were patient. They had waited eons for humanity to join them among the stars. They could wait a little longer to see what wonders would follow. Beyond the solar system, other intelligences observed with trepidation and wonder as humanity took its first steps onto the galactic stage, not alone, but in the company of the most ancient beings in the cosmos. The quarantine had ended. The experiment had succeeded, and the next phase of cosmic evolution had begun.